Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now what we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? See, dog, another parole here. Let's get it. I ain't seen this. I'm watching it with y'all. Let's get it. Hold up. Look at the look on his face. You can tell already. He know he about to get smoked. How about that?
Video parole is reconvening at 11:19 a.m. and the remote location is Kensaw Detention Center. With the staff at Kensaw, introduce yourself. Major Antonio Johnson with Kensaw Parish. Good morning, Major Johnson. How are you? All right, good morning to y'all. Would the offender please state your full name and your Department of Corrections ID?
Michael Wayne Nicholas. My DOC number is 505-377.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas. Mr. Nicholas, my name is Alvin Roche. To my left is Mrs. Bonnie Jackson. To my right is Mr. Pete Freeman.
Yes, sir.
We're the three that's going to compose your program this morning.
Nah, no disrespect, but why do they got this guy as, what can you say, like the leader of this parole board shit? You can't really understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He sound like he dyslexic. Ain't that the word? Dyslexic? Dyslexic. Whatever. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Let me explain the process to you. I will read some information into the record to verify that information. Once that information is in the record, we'll give the Kensaw detention center staff a chance to make comments or remarks if they wish. Then we'll hear from opposition to your early release. We'll hear opposition from Alice Holliston, Ms. Amanda Riley, who would like to make a statement, and Amanda is the mother of the victim. And Ms. Amy Roner, and she would like to make a statement, and she's with the victim's mother, Ms. Brown. At the appropriate time, we'll call on those individuals to make their statement. At the very end, before we vote, Ms. Nichols, we will give you a chance to make a brief statement on your behalf. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nichols, you are a second felony offender. You're currently, 63 years old?
Yes, sir.
And your offense is indecent behavior with a juvenile. You were originally sentenced on September 27, 2018, and you received a 5-year sentence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You received 199 days of jail credit, and that sentence was suspended. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were arrested again on a technical violation in 2019. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your parole date was April 28,
this shit right here is hard to get through. I can't understand half of what the fuck he's saying. And he's so slow to, man, let's get this shit over with. Damn.
And we have a full-term date in October, matter of fact, October 28th, 2023. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're only within 4 or 5 months of your full-term release date. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the programs that you've completed since your incarceration.
Look, right? The programs that you're supposed to take in prison, because they give you a list of programs when you first come into prison. They give you a list of programs that you need to take before you get out. And there's other programs that you should take too. You take these programs and you complete them. It look good for the parole board. The parole board love to see you completing these programs that they recommended. Why? Because they get paid for this shit. They don't give a fuck about you. They want their money. How about that?
Took a sex class, and I took a anger management class.
Okay. So you completed all 4 phases
Yes,
of your
yes, sir.
sex offender treatment?
Yes, sir.
So what did you learn about yourself, Mr. Nichols? And what did you learn about the effects that this crime had on the victim?
Could have had drama on them, and I'm not in denial anymore, except what I did was my fault, and remorse to the family and to the victim, and I'm ashamed for what I did.
How old was the victim?
I think 8, 9 years old.
And
8 years old, man. What type of time? They just getting younger and younger and younger, man.
in his late 50s, committed a sex crime against an 8-year-old.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Tell me
yo,
exactly
old, hold on. Yo, old is messing with an 8-year-old.
how did this happen?
We were just messing around, and
Y'all was
just
just
playing
messing
around,
around.
and she started putting my jump things down, and
Lying. See, this is what I be talking about. This is why the parole board smoke you. They are critical analyzers. You know what I'm saying? This is their job. This is what they do. So they know as soon as you get the line, as soon as you get the stuttering, you pausing, you like trying to make up some shit, they already know you ball business.
I touched her, and she told her mama.
This is an 8-year-old. This is an 8-year-old. She made
Yes, sir.
a mistake and
It's
kept
my
it
fault.
by her.
It's my fault. It's my fault, and it was all my fault. It wasn't her fault. It was me,
There you go.
Okay. Now,
and I accept responsibility for my action.
There you go.
Mr. Nichols, let me explain something to you. We've expressed opposition in the DA's office. We have strong opposition from all.
The DA's office is district attorneys. You know what I'm saying? The courts, what the fuck they said, blah, blah, blah. They turn all their paperwork over to the parole board after you get sentenced. How about that?
Law enforcement agencies. We have expressed opposition from the victim and the victim's family. We need some additional programs. The only programs that I see is anger management and sex offender treatment. Have you taken any other programs?
No, sir.
Boom.
I think you need to take.
Look, you just heard him. I think you need to take, yeah, I think you need to take some more programs. Like I said, how can I put it, man? The programs is the most important thing to the parole board. Real talk. And the less you take, the more likely you are to get denied. You know what I'm saying?
Pre-release, I think you need to take victim awareness so you become fully aware of the effects that you had on an 8-year-old adolescent.
Mm-hmm.
And you were given the opportunity, the judge suspended your sentence, and you failed to register as a sex offender, and you were instructed to do.
Ball. He failed to register. I just told y'all about this. You know, when they get out of prison and shit, they got to register as sex offenders. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, they being watched with telescope. You know what I'm saying? He didn't register. Why you ain't registered, dog? Sound like you on some shit. How about that? Good flop coming your way.
So, and you got revoked. Am I correct on all of that?
Yes, sir. I was paying, but I just didn't have the money at the time. But I had paid some of it.
Okay, so, and you're going to get out in 4 or 5 months. So
Yes,
what
sir.
you need in the next 4 or 5 months is to make sure you have enough money to register and you have a viable.
So they about to let him out. He said get out in a couple months. But then you know what? Sometimes they play that. Sometimes they talk their shit and play that game. But that don't always necessarily mean you about to get out. Sometimes they talk good, but it ain't always that. You know, we about to see though.
Residential plan that will be approved by probation and parole. Because you can't live in proximity to a school,
Mm-hmm.
a nursery, a playground,
Mm-hmm.
and
Can't be around kids.
that caters to adolescents. You can't live within 1,000 feet, you know, right? So you need to get a residency plan, and you need to make sure you have enough financial means to register as a sex offender. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Jackson? No question. Mr. Freeman? No question.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Here we go. I just said this. Sometimes they be talking good, but I told when they get to saying no question, that's a denial right off the rip. Because they all want to know what the fuck you got to say before they give you a parole. If they don't got no questions for you, throw it. How about that?
At this time, we'd like to hear from uh, Amanda Raleigh, the victim's mother. He's trying to switch your life.
Damn, he got up and walked away. How about that?
And Ms. Allison, I didn't recognize you. You are a victim assistant coordinator, and we want to thank you for your work. Okay, so we can use a problem. Hold on. Okay. Yes. Miss Allison, how you doing? Good. We're gonna hear from Miss Amanda Raleigh first, and then Miss Ann.
Yeah, I was just checking to see if your instruments that you did classes that got to be listed.
Okay. He's completed all of his sex offender treatment. He's taken anger management, and his full term date is October 28th of this year. October 28th, he will finish and complete 5 years on that day. Ready, Bart?
And you realize just
Well, he appears to be very remorseful, and he has taken his sex offender treatment. Would you like to make a statement? Well, Ms.
yeah, I'm still opposed of it getting out, but I mean, at this point,
Well, Ms. Rowley is on that particular date I gave you, he would have fulfilled his obligations. He has been sentenced to 5 years, and 5 years is up on October 28th, 2023. Would Ms. Amy like to make a statement?
yeah, remember,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm definitely opposed to this situation till this day. I will be even on October 28th, where he had to suffer 5 years of what he deserved. My daughter and Ferris Riley and Zoe Gower both have to see mental health counselors now. They are both on medication. My daughter is still not able to function in public. She's terrified. This is a lifelong thing for both girls, whereas he only has
Through. I'm telling you right now, he is denied. Flop, done, go back to your cell. I'm telling you right now.
sit back and relax, get his feet up, take a few classes for 5 years. And I did not feel like when he comes out, I doubt he's any different.
He know
Been
he's
doing this
through.
a long time, 3 years.
Look at him. He know he's through.
I feel like we can at least protect some more girls, maybe even his grandchildren, for the next few months, if nothing else. We owe it to all the children. Give this to a child that was never is the other child. So what's going to stop him from next?
Them getting up and walking away tell me everything I need to know.
Thank you, Ms. Roy. We appreciate your statement. Mr. Nichols, would you like to make a closing statement? And please address the board.
Said I'm in remorse for what happened,
No, you're not.
and I'm sincerely embarrassed, and hope the Lord forgive me.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Is it now ready to vote? Mr. Nichols, based upon the proximity of your full-term date, based upon express opposition from the judge, the DA's office, law enforcement, adamant opposition from the victims and the victims' mothers, you need additional program. My vote is to deny your request.
Mm-hmm. You go
Mr.
one.
Nichols,
I concur with Mr. Roche for the same reason.
Mrs. Jackson.
My vote is the same, Mr. Nicholas and Mr. Nicholas. You know, you say you're sorry for what you did, and then when you start getting into it, you're really blaming the victim. She was 8 years old and she was pulling on something. Those girls were in the bed sleeping, and you went in there and you did something inappropriate, and you're still trying to blame them for what you did. I don't think you're ready now, but you know, you gotta get out because in October, you will have served your whole sentence, and so that you can't hold you in jail beyond that. But my vote today is Tuesday night.
Ms. Nichols, you have received 3 votes to deny your request. Your request has been denied. You have a good day. Thank you.
All right. That's that, right? Man, cooked his ass, right? Um, what they saying is basically he had got sentenced to 5 years for doing what he did with the 8-year-old, right? Now, like I told y'all before, just because the judge sentenced you to that type of time, that don't necessarily mean that that's what you gonna do. You gonna do whatever the fuck the parole board say. You know what I'm saying? And like I was saying in the beginning, yeah, they get to talking nice. Sometimes they be talking nice. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they gonna come with that smoke train and blow your damn boots off. And that's exactly what they did to bro. Well, he ain't bro. That's what they did to dog. You know what I'm saying? He had it coming, man. Again, this just go to show you that all of them sex offenders, they don't just come home. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they get flopped a couple of times. Sometimes they make them do like this. If the judge sends you to 5 years, sometimes the parole board make you do 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And you wasn't in there fucking up, nothing, none of that. You was taking your programs, and they still flop you. Hey, you ain't did enough time. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the shit go. Now with this guy, he only took 2 programs while he was in there. They probably recommended him to take probably like 5, but he only did 2. Here's the thing about prison. You don't got nothing to do in there. So I don't understand why he wasn't taking more programs and, being more active with the shit. I don't understand why. Like, you don't got nothing to do in that bitch, like literally. And programs that eat up your time, you know what I'm saying? So when these guys not completing them programs, the parole board look at them like, yeah, you not trying to go home. You in prison playing around. You ain't taking the programs. You just doing the bare minimum. So they smoke you for that. Like you got to be in there taking them programs. You know what I'm saying? Every time you sign up for a program in that motherfucker, that's money in their pocket. So if you ain't put money in their pocket, they gonna keep your ass locked up. They gonna get their money out of you. You know what I'm saying? With me, I forgot how many programs I had to take, but I did all of them. You know what I'm saying? I think I probably had about 3 or 4 of them to do. I did all of them. You know what I'm saying? And when I went to see them, they ran it down like, yeah, you completed this, you did that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we'll be mailing you a decision within about 30 days. That's a parole. You know what I'm saying? But when they stand up there and they say, denied, 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 dude, when I went to see the parole board, they didn't say, was I approved or not. Actually, you know what? Let me bag it up a little bit, right? When I went to see the parole board, it was only one parole officer that I had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 3. It usually be 3. But they put me in a room with just one parole person. You know what I'm saying? That's a great sign. So they already knew they was gonna give me my parole. That's why they only had me sit in the room with one parole officer. You know what I'm saying? Me and the parole officer, we had a good talk. I said everything that I wanted to do. When I got out, I admitted I was wrong. I did what I did. Blah 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 blah. Right. And after our interview, the PO, the parole officer, whatever you want to call them, parole board, blah blah blah. Like I said, he didn't hit me with a decision. He just told me, hey, we be mailing you something within 30 days of our decision. That is what you want to hear when you go see the parole board. You know what I'm saying? And if you really get lucky, you only want to have one parole officer that's interviewing. You know what I'm saying? If you got 3 of them interviewing, yeah, it might be a hard fight. You know what I'm saying? But I got lucky. I only had one. They told me my decision was going to be in the mail. So when I got back to the unit, with all the other prisoners, everybody's asking me, how did my interview go? I was like, shit, it was a good interview. I only had to deal with one person. Everybody, what? You only had one parole officer? Like, dog, it was just one. They put me in a room with this one parole officer and we kicked it. So they was like, well, after all that, what they say? I was like, shit, they told me they be mailing me a decision within 30 days. Everybody like, oh, nigga, you got a parole. You good. You out of here. Woo, woo. I'm like, shit, it sounds good, you know what I'm saying? But mind you, I already been in prison for a couple of years. So I've been seeing niggas get flopped and all of that shit, having good interviews, coming back, all smiling and happy, like, yeah, I know I got that parole. Woo, woo. We had a good talk. I was doing this, I said that, I completed this, I completed that, and then boom, they get that letter in the mail and say, nah, denied. So they don't always deny you right then and there. Sometimes they say, hey, we're gonna mail you a decision. And they'll with them saying they gonna mail you a decision, basically they slide it under your door. So you would be on your bunk sleep and a piece of paper would slide up under your door. You know what I'm saying? You look at the paper, boom, that's your decision. Either they grant it or they decline it. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, when you got three panelists up there, they gonna smoke you right there. You know what I'm saying? Or they gonna tell you, we mail you a decision. Well, y'all see what happened when they ask all three of them what's their decision. Meaning they letting it be known now, like we not mailing you no decision, no nothing. You done right now. You know what I'm saying? Go on back to your cell. Don't be looking forward to a parole and none of that shit. Your ass cooked right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said before, all of these guys don't go home just because the judge sentenced them to that time. They go home when the parole board want to let you out. That's how it go. How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Pole. So get your blunts rolled and your Dre poured.